Good morning. Annoyingly, I've started this vlog on the worst possible time of the year. We've had so much sun recently, and then as I wanted to go, I don't know, travelling, running, but I thought we could do something else instead. So, because I can't go travelling and stuff, obviously there's a virus going around and the rain and all that kind of stuff, and yeah. I thought I'd give you all some tips on how to like travel for cheap. Okay, so what I want to touch on is 4 things to do with travelling. The first one is travel, so sounds obvious, but flights, trains, just travelling between cities and countries and stuff. The second one is accommodation. That could be hostels, hotels, beach huts, tents, yeah, all that stuff. The third one is food, so that could be street food, it could be hotels, hostels, all that kind of stuff. We'll get into it. And the fourth one is enjoyment. So that obviously differs per city, but we'll get into that anyway. So for the first one, travel, we need to go straight to the laptop. So bear with me. Okay, cool. So first thing to do is to go to skyscanner.net. Then click where you're going from. So we're going to use one way just for this little trick for you. Type in where you're flying from. So I'm flying from the UK. Can't decide, so you put everywhere. Nice little trick. Then, departure date, you should put the cheapest month. I mean, you can pick any of these months if you specify, but cheapest month will do. And there you go, it goes from cheapest to most expensive. So this trick, if you click on to the top one is Vienna for £10, and then you pick where you are flying from. So London's probably the easiest one for me for the £10. So as you see, it's the 7th of November. So then what I'd do, I'd go to the top there, click from Vienna, and then again I would click flexible, so flying everywhere. And then now that I've got the specific date, I will go to November the 7th specifically, so specific date, 7th of November. I'd go the 9th, so I'll spend a couple of days there. Everywhere, and then you'll see you've got things like Albania, Cyprus, so yeah, Albania, Tirana, yeah, places I've never been before. Cool, that brings us nicely to accommodation. So accommodation, the best places that I've found to stay at. If you're staying in the UK, there is a really cool company called YHA. They are brilliant, and some of their sites are stunning. I'd highly recommend Ilham. I was there at the start of the year and it was snowing and it was just done. So for hostels across Europe, I think they're worldwide as well, is my number one recommendation is HOSTELWORLD.com. I'm not paid by them to say this or anything, it's just I've used them so many times that it would be a shame not to mention them. So yeah, that's if you fancy staying in hostels. I stayed in one in Milan, which was stun. I don't know why I keep saying stun today. But yeah, they're so cool, really easy to use. They tell you how far you are from the city centre, all that kind of stuff. So definitely recommend that. There's also obviously hotels. Now with hotels, it's very hit and miss. Exactly the same with Airbnb as well. Sometimes the price can be ridiculously high, sometimes ridiculously low. You've just got to find it on the right day. But with hostels, their prices tend to stay very, very close to what they are. Food. Now, food can obviously differ depending on where you go. But however, I'm quite scared of street food. I don't know whether to trust it or not. But if you're feeling a bit daring, give it a go. Give it a go. But there are some really, really nice places, depending on which city you are. I was living in Italy for a little bit and I was staying with loads of different families, which I'd highly recommend doing. If you're an au pair or teaching English or anything like that, go and stay with these families because they have the best food, especially in Italy with like all their pasta and that. I got so fat. Enjoyment. So this is a strange one, and I picked this one for a reason, and that reason is if you have a particular budget. Let's say that you go to a city and it's going to cost you £100. That's all in, right, for your hotel, your food, accommodation, everything. Let's say that you get your flights from Skyscanner, ridiculously cheap. Like I showed you, you can get it for, I think I've seen it as low as £7 from like a single thing to Germany. So let's say £14 for that. Your hostel's £16, that's 30. Your food for the day, £10. You're talking 40 quid. It gives you £60 to go and do some random experience that you've never thought of doing before, like paragliding, or go to an ice bar in bloody Budapest or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's the reason why I've added this onto the list, because if you can really cheapen your expenses on the obvious things like food, accommodation and travel, then spend the rest of it on making memories and stuff, because that's the whole point of travelling, is making memories. Otherwise you might as well have one of those things that the Men in Black have, to just forget your memory. Hopefully you can take something away from this. I've probably said stuff that you've already know. This is for the people that don't know about that kind of stuff, like HOSTELWORLD.com, Skyscanner, and don't eat street food unless you're feeling risky. But yeah, that's it from me. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.